This is the Tame Aperture Podcast.
Open the pod bay doors, please, Hal.
Hello, Hal, do you read me?
Do you read me, Hal? Do you read me, Hal?
Affirmative, Dave. I read you. I read you. I read you.
Open the pod bay doors, Hal.
Come on down and jump some of this shit.
You'll always have that. Sorry, Dave. I'm afraid I can't do that.
Welcome to the Tame Aperture Podcast, where we talk about all things movies, from first-time directors, indie films, art house, and much, much more. Today, we're jumping into Quentin Tarantino's 2007 Grindhouse throwback, Death Proof. As always, we'll start with the IMDb logline. Two separate sets of voluptuous women are stalked at different times by a scarred stuntman who uses his death-proof car to execute his murderous plans. I'm Alan Martindale, editor and filmmaker, and along for the ride, as always, along for the ride, pun very much intended, is our fearless leader, Gabe Vienendahl, filmmaker, film instructor, and film evangelist. Gabe, how the hell you doing? This is your choice.
Doing great. Just came off a podcast, filmmaker exclusive, and now jumping into Death Proof. Alan's favorite movie of all time.
You don't even know how I feel about it yet, but
Oh, I do.
I think you're picking up context clues.
Yeah, I feel like well, here's the thing. Last time, the reason I chose this is because last time we had some hot takes from Tarantino.
Yes, we did.
And that had to do around Matthew Lillard. We reviewed SLC Punk, and a little while back, Tarantino had some hot takes, which he tends to have.
Which he loves to have.
He's very opinionated, which makes sense. I mean, we're doing a podcast, so.
But here's the thing, I can't really talk shit about this because Tarantino loves to be a contrarian, and there's a part of me that's like, you just says shit because it'll piss people off, but I am very much unintentionally a contrarian. And so I really can't talk too much shit. But what really bothered me is like...
Really? Unintentionally?
I don't do it just to piss people off. I think a lot of my opinions just don't coincide with what other people think.
Fair enough.
So it is unintentional, but I'm not apologizing for it. So I can't really talk a whole lot of shit.
I just thought you were an ass.
I have been called that many times. And you know what? I have called myself that. It's very true. And it's not even that he mentioned, because he mentioned Matthew Lillard when he was on this podcast. But the thing I really took umbrage with was he was talking shit on Paul Dano as an actor, particularly in There Will Be Blood. And Paul Dano is fantastic in that role.
Yeah, and we both agreed on that.
Yes, exactly. And so that's really the one that really bothered me more than anything, is that I don't know. His exact words were, I think, he's weak sauce, which is a very Tarantino dumbass hipster piece of shit thing to say.
It sounds like something I would have said like 20 years ago.
Exactly. It's a very boomer thing. And so, yeah, to me, look, you can't say that about Paul Dano and then turn in the performance that he did in Death Proof. Talking about Quentin Tarantino.
Never put it in that context. Oh, well, I mean, that's fair enough to say that I almost forgot Tarantino was in the movie. Like he's not, it's irrelevant.
It's a cameo.
Yeah,
it's a
cameo.
I like it when directors do that. To me, it's fun.
It's fun. It's Hitchcockian.
Right.
I like the way Hitchcock does it better.
Agreed.
Which is keep your mouth shut.
Exactly. Just you show up, and that's it. This isn't the first Tarantino movie we've done, though. We did do Reservoir Dogs, and we did this. Any guesses when we did this?
Oh, it's been 5 years?
2019, episode 12. So it's been a while. I don't remember. I do know I like Reservoir Dogs. I like Pulp Fiction. I like some of Tarantino's stuff. What are your opinions on his breadth of filmmaking?
To me, Inglourious Basterds actually has one of the best opening sequences in movie history. Like, it's so good.
The tension is
and his writing is incredible. But if you look at the QT portfolio, it's like, let me find the lowest of the rung. And I think I succeeded.
You definitely succeeded. Here's the thing, and this is what drives me crazy about Quentin Tarantino. I really want to like him. But the problem is he has these moments where it's just fantastic. He's got sequences that are fantastic. And then, particularly in Death Proof, it just grinds to a halt, and that pun is very much intended as well. It just grinds, like it's speeding along, and then it grinds to a halt. And he thinks he's so clever with the dialogue, but it really is more style than anything. And there are films he's written and directed has great dialogue. Reservoir Dogs, so much dialogue. It's fantastic. Pulp Fiction, so much dialogue. But it's done well. This one, I couldn't sit through it. I could not. When the second set of girls are at the restaurant and it's all one take, and I do admire that because it felt like theater. It's all one take. He's just moving the camera around the table. There was nothing interesting about that dialogue. It was just, and I don't know why it went on so long.
Yeah.
And it took me out of the movie after we just had an amazing gore-filled kill session that I was all in on. And that's what drives me crazy about him, is I never know if it's going to be good or bad minute to minute. I can't tell if you're ready to flip the table and
I'm
come
not
at me.
ready to flip the table. I mean, we know why I chose, but I think I get that. I think also, though, I mean, let's put it in context. Let's put it in context in
Okay.
terms of the movie, which is him, and you had mentioned style. So let's go, okay, this movie was made wholly on the basis of style.
Right.
It's Grindhouse. It's exploitation. And it's intentionally stylistic and visually put into that world for that reason. So then the question is, can you take a style of movies? And for those that don't know, and I'm not a big Grindhouse, I don't know a lot about that in all transparency. I know it's like 70s films that are, sex, girls, violence,
Right.
B movies, they were usually run in theaters as double features.
Yep.
But that context, okay, so there's a style, and they really pumped them out over that period of time in the 70s, and they just would, there was a popularity within a certain, subculture, right? It was like, these are movies that this particular audience really loves. So I guess what I'm saying in the context is, can you make a movie based on just a style or a genre and make it successful?
I think you can.
Because that's what he was trying to do.
He and Robert Rodriguez, because this was released as a double feature.
And we'll get to that one later.
Right.
So we'll come back to Planet Terror.
But
for now,
they were released
with Death Proof,
together.
They were released it. But for now, can you do that?
And
not to, because I think I know where you're going. Have you seen Planet Terror?
I have not seen it. I'm actually dying to see it because I love Robert
that'll be our
Rodriguez.
follow-up podcast to this one. And I'm going to give away, and I won't give away anything other than it works better.
That doesn't surprise me.
And so I'll leave it there. But going back to Death Proof, can you make a movie based on a style in a genre? And if so, I'd love to know examples. But I think that's a hard feat. It's a tough ask.
Yeah, to make basically an homage by recreating a genre, like, it's not easy to do.
I mean, I'm trying to figure out where it's been successful. Has there been, because you say yes, I'm not so sure. I'm maybe of a different opinion in that. Could you do that? Well, I'm trying to think of one, and obviously this is something we did not prep for, but I'm like, I don't think there is.
The one that comes to mind for me, and you may not have seen it, is House of a Thousand Corpses by Rob Zombie. It was his first film.
Zombie films. Yeah.
I'm not a huge Rob Zombie fan, and I'm a huge horror guy. as you know, but I'm not a huge Rob Zombie fan. I do love that movie because it is so much style. Like that is basically a modern retelling of a Texas Chainsaw Massacre in his view, without it being the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. But he brings in elements from 50s horror, from 70s horror. Like it is basically.
Is this the one with Paris Hilton?
No.
That's the House of Wax.
That's House of Wax.
Okay.
So this is the one that had the
But that's not Rob Zombie. Is House of Wax?
No,
Rob
it's
Zombie?
not.
It's not.
No.
That's okay. I'm just confusing the two in my head.
Yeah. But this is the first one with Captain Spaulding, the clown. And
I do remember it.
It's a divisive movie. A lot of people don't like it. And I understand their criticism. I enjoy it, and I think that is an example to me of where it's his first film. He's basically just trying to make a horror film that he fell in love with, that he would have loved had it been made before. And to me, it works. It doesn't to a lot of people, and I get it. So I think it can be done. It's just really hard to do. And the parts of Death Proof that I liked the most is when he was recreating the grime with visually and the schlocky gore and all that. Like when he really dove into it, that's when I enjoyed it the most. When he pulled away from that style and really went his own Tarantino-esque style is when I was like, I'm not into it.
Yeah, I think that it was interesting because it's like, you bring up House of a Thousand Corpses and those kind of things, and I'm like. And I don't recall it as much as you, so I can't remember. I wouldn't be a good recall on that movie. Is that a true? Is that just based on TCM?
I mean, not necessarily, but it's got the family. It's got stranded teenagers. It's trapped in their house. Like it's there are too many similarities.
Does he film it in a way that is very TCM?
Yes, in some parts, yes, for sure. But I'm not sure he was trying to remake the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. But it's too stylistically similar to that and a bunch of other movies to just say, well, he's just recreating the type of movies he loved back in the day.
Because the thing with Death Proof is like I actually appreciate the attempt.
Me too.
Because obviously, if you were trying to recreate some kind of stylistic thing. Means that you probably felt something from it when you went and watched them.
Yep.
And I imagine he was probably a kid in that time frame in L.A. growing up and was like, I'm seeing the double feature today, the Grindhouse double feature.
Absolutely.
So like I love that intrinsic, like, oh, I felt it. It was a thing. But I just don't know that that's a good basis for storytelling to really dive into something that's going to connect with people.
That's a good point. I think if there were two people who could pull it off successfully, it would be Quentin Tarantino and Robert Rodriguez.
That would be a true point. And here's the interesting thing is and once again, not to jump podcasts, but little foreshadowing, I think Planet Terror has more of that than Death Proof. So let's dive into Death Proof.
Let's dive into it.
Because here's what I'm thinking. I loved when I was watching it. I thought to myself, I loved the attempt and the style. To me, it was actually intriguing. It kept me intrigued.
Me too.
Just the idea that I knew what he was trying to do, and you have the gritty film look, and you have the jump cuts, and you have all those kind.
I loved it.
The bad cameras.
I loved it.
That was fun. And if you're not a film person. You may or may not appreciate that, but as a film person, I know what he's doing. He's trying to emulate.
Right.
And he's doing all that intentionally, which was great. But I do think there's pieces to the movie that, like you had mentioned, like they just don't land in either the dialogue or the story or the progression. Like, the one thing that kept me alive during the movie was Kurt Russell.
Thank you. Yes. Kurt Russell is so fucking good in this movie. The overact, he is the one who nailed the exploitation style the most because he just hit every note.
100%. And when I was watching it, I thought to myself, if this isn't Kurt Russell, I checked out.
Same. But think about this. Let me ask you this before you get to your next point. before you'd seen the movie, if you were going to say we're going to cast Kurt Russell in this, would you have thought that's a good choice?
No, not initially, because those are not
Same.
historically things that you would kind of line him up for in your head.
Right.
So I thought the casting was great, and I thought his decision to cast him was fantastic.
Yep.
Now, I had read somewhere that he was looking at Sylvester Stallone.
Interesting.
Which I actually also think could have worked.
I don't see it, but I wouldn't have seen Kurt Russell either.
I
so.
do see Sly. Now, the other one that he apparently, and what I had heard and read on, and it could be wrong, the one he wrote. So Sly, I actually see. I see Sly, and it makes sense. The one he said he wrote it for was Mickey Rourke.
I could see Mickey Rourke.
See, I'm the opposite. I'm like, I couldn't do it.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And I just think because him in Sin City, it's a much different role, but he can play that type of dude.
Yeah.
And I love Sin City. Have you seen Sin City?
Of course.
It's
fantastic.
It's so good. Yeah.
It was revolutionary. Rodriguez does a lot of cool technical things.
Yep.
And once again, I think QT and Rodriguez, that's the other thing. It's like a cool idea. When you think about when these came out, 2007, it's like, oh, those guys they're still great. They're the apex, but it's like they were at a point in their careers where this is the other thing about Death Proof. I'm like, well, everyone just said Rodriguez and Tarantino, go do your thing. Here you go. Here's a bunch of cash.
Yep.
Because
basically the Weinsteins were like, here you go, just go. I mean, if in this time, at this time period, 2006, 2007, there's no one you trust more. Yeah.
Because the movie did not do well.
It didn't do well. And do you think it was more the double feature aspect of it than anything?
I think so. I think people don't know how to respond to that. It's not the 1970s.
Drive-ins aren't around anymore.
It's like people don't know how to respond to that in that culture. YouTube's coming out. It's like, how do you do a double feature? Like I can barely stick around for credits in a movie.
It's true. It's true.
And I hate and I tell everyone, and everyone doesn't like this, but I don't want to watch the credits.
No.
I love all the people and the artists doing the work to put it in. And they showed me what they did by the movie they created. I don't need to see all the names and stuff. So if you were asking me, so it's hard enough for credits. You're asking me to stick around for a whole nother movie?
I could not agree more. Like it's asking a lot. As movie fans, I do it because I love movies.
I don't sound like a movie fan. The last 5 minutes, I sound like a non-movie fan. I sound like old curmudgeon.
But I think you're viewing it through the lens of like the typical moviegoer who just wants to go spend a couple hours, get away from everything, sit in a dark room. You know, they typically don't want to do that. If we're talking if drive-ins were still a thing, then you have something.
It's a perfect, like because those started fading out. But like even as a high school kid, like in the mid 90s,
I know,
or late 90s, like it would have so if it was maybe 7-8 years too late.
There was this is kind of a side tangent. There's a drive-in that just got sold to some developers, condo developers or apartment developers here in Salt Lake City or West Salt Lake City.
On Redwood Road?
Yep, Redwood Road. I so badly wanted to buy it, dude. Like if I had money, I would have, but what a money pit that would have been. I mean, but still, like there's you're not going to get that in 2007.
You're not going to get the double feature, but once again, the thing that I do appreciate is like you're saying is the idea of the experience, which is what they were trying to do. I just think they arrived too late.
Right. Or too early.
Or now, if you're looking back, everyone are looking for vintage or nostalgic, and maybe
it might work a little bit better now. But that's a bummer because I like the idea. I like the stylistic elements. I love it when filmmakers and artists and musicians wear their heart on their sleeves. To me, that speaks to me, and I respect people who do that. And you might be right. That might not be a successful way to tell a story, but it's just cool. I like it. I enjoy seeing people enjoy things they love.
Yeah.
and sharing that, wanting to share that with other people.
Okay, opening part of the movie on a scale of 1 to 10, how gross is Kurt Russell eating nachos technique?
So good.
1 to 10.
That's like a 8.8.
Oh, I went 10.
Full 10?
Disgusting.
Because he's got shit in his face and super gross. But let me get the feet part out of the way. Because everyone knows Tarantino has a foot fetish. It's very clear. And I don't want to...
Has he come out and said that? Or is it just because... I mean, I get it because we watch movies and we see those shots. But he said, yeah, I like feet.
I don't know. And I don't want to kink shame anybody because if you're into whatever, but it is a little egregious. First opening shot is a woman's feet.
Yeah.
But I did...
And they're scattered throughout.
But I will say this. He wove it into the story, actually, in this one. Because at first I'm just thinking, oh, what the fuck?
I jumped ahead on the nachos.
Exactly. You did. But first,
I went straight nachos. You're thinking to yourself, what about the feet?
We have to address the elephant in the room here. At first I'm thinking this is just Tarantino being egregiously into feet. And that's fine, but I think feet are kind of gross. And so I don't really want to see them all the time. But it was foreshadowing of what happened.
You mean Alan, you don't want to walk up to a random stranger whose feet are hanging out the door and lick them?
No, I sure don't.
Yeah, I don't either.
But again, that really elevated the creep factor for Kurt Russell. The fact that he did that.
Yeah.
So I don't want to give him too much shit, but I feel like we do have to address it a little bit because feet are a prominent feature in most of his films. And it was really in this one. But he did tie it into the story.
I also think part of that is, and I could be wrong, I'm speculating, which is I had read that he was the cam op.
Yeah.
So he operated the camera for the movie, which is the one and only that I know of he actually did.
Right.
And so I think as part of that, framing and selecting of shots, obviously he probably... you'd imagine he did some kind of storyboarding as a director, et cetera, but he actually, cam opted.
Yeah.
And so I think he was even more
he's I got this one.
I got it. I can't remember who the DP is. I should probably look it up, but it looks over and says, I got it. I'm going to focus in right here.
That's funny. I got this one. Don't worry about it. But there's some impressive camera work in this one.
Yeah, when I had read that he was the cam op, I don't know if he's the DP necessarily.
I don't think he was.
But that's something we could look at. I was impressed. It was it's cool. I think that's a challenge. To me, that's what I liked. If you went and said, let me recreate a very particular stylistic type of film, right? And let me recreate it. That's harder to do than you think. To emulate those nuances. And so I thought in that, I even remember looking at my wife going, this is cool. Even if you don't, because you could watch this movie and if you don't know what Grindhouse type films are, just by watching the first 30 minutes, you go, oh, I get what these types of movies are.
Exactly.
And so he had emulated that to a T.
And I mean, so actually that brings up a good question. Maybe you can help me with this. Why did he abandon it halfway through the film?
That I don't know why they... And what you're referring to is...
He was the DP.
Oh, so he DP'd it.
He DP'd it too.
Man, I'm impressed.
I'm
not going to lie.
I am too.
And I think... I think he probably shouldn't do that for his other types of films, like Inglourious Bastards, in which he doesn't.
Right.
But he did a really good job.
It works for something like this.
Yeah.
Because it does take a very specific eye.
I read... Okay, we'll get to that in a minute. What was your question?
So why do you think he abandoned the Grindhouse style, the exploitation style halfway through the film?
The first 30 minutes is really showing the exploitation film and really highlighting the creepiness of the slasher guy, who's Kurt Russell.
Yep.
It's Kurt. You're really seeing this guy unfold, and in the second half, because you're going to see what happens at the end of the movie, it's going to flip the script. Like what these girls are subjected to his, they're going to pay the price.
Right. Exactly.
These girls are not.
Exactly.
And so I think that's the delineation for me. I could be way off.
No, I think that you might have a point there, because it is almost like
it's like a visual switch.
And again, I don't know enough about exploitation film and the Grindhouse era to really be able to say, but it does feel like it's a little bit more modern, with like the final girls living. And
well, it totally
revenge
changes
at the
from a
end. Like,
filmic look to like HD.
black and white for a minute, and then it goes color fully modern again. Or not again, for the first time.
Yeah.
So,
but also in like a very HD traditional look.
Right. Yeah. Yes.
It's not like Grindhouse anymore, really.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, that was interesting. I wasn't sure why he did that. There's, like you said, there's definitely a reason. I just don't care enough to dive into it.
Well, I think where it gets lost for me is just, and this is weird because I actually usually enjoy long conversations and walks on the beach. I don't mind like conversational things happening between characters.
I like it.
I do too, but my wheelhouse, as you know, is more. It's more witty in the sense of like it's banter, comedic back and forth.
Right.
It's the John Hughes bam 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 bam. It's beat,
exactly.
beat. He doesn't have that. Now his writing is smart, but it's smart and slower, and so I'm just not as engaged throughout. You know.
Normally, I don't mind his conversational dialogue in his other films. This one
doesn't land the same.
He thinks he's a lot more clever than he is. Like, it's just, I mean, seriously, it feels like it's way more style than substance. It's more about how they're saying it.
Which goes back to my question. Can you make a movie based on a specific style of film that actually resonates? I just don't think you do. I mean, I think you're biased towards 1,000 Corpses.
100% I am,
because,
for sure.
And look, I'm not a Rob Zombie guy.
I'm not either.
But I actually appreciate his artistic flair for who he is.
Absolutely, because it's unapologetic.
It's unapologetic, and I love that.
The Devil's Rejects, I think, was a better exploitation film than Death Proof.
But goes to my point of like, can you take just a genre or a style of filmmaking and make it worth a full grade movie? I don't know. I'm actually not convinced you can. Other than maybe when we get to Planet Terror, we'll have different approaches.
I'm excited to see that one because I trust Robert Rodriguez to do that more. Tarantino, like I said, everything he does is style, right? Everything is about style, but there is substance in his other films.
It is, but this is, well, there's substance, but he's a real good character developer. I mean, Kill Bill is all about character.
That's all.
And
yeah,
you're just
exactly.
POVing her whole journey through the whole thing.
In fact, I like part 2 better because that's
fantastic.
That's more dialogue. That's more discussion. It's less of the kung fu throwbacks.
But they're not developing the characters here, and you're really just going off the dialogue. So, yeah. I got a question for you. So we do both love Kurt Russell.
Yep.
I mean, look, he saved the movie for me. I would have
agreed.
I wouldn't have turned it off. I would have watched it because I'm a movie guy, but he saved it. And I remember looking at my wife going, he saved the movie. Is Stuntman Mike, that's his name.
Okay. I agree. He's the man.
Who would win in a fight? Stuntman Mike or a Honda Civic? Because we got to remember that the Death Proof is a car as a stuntman. Do we know it, just for context, we know what Death Proof means.
Right.
Which is a stuntman, you build a car that you can crash and roll and burn or whatever, that it's 100% death proof.
Right.
So, but that's not fair. Would Stuntman Mike win in a fight or a Honda Civic?
You mean just one-on-one? Him,
Yeah.
him against...
This is a dumb question. I know it's unhinged.
I'm trying to think about this. I think Stuntman Mike, I'll flip it around a little bit. I think Stuntman Mike with a Honda Civic is still dangerous as fuck. I don't think he needs the death-proof car to be sinister and scary, but it does make him that much more terrifying.
Had you seen this movie leading up to this? Had
No.
you watched it? Okay. So did you love the first kill?
Yes. Loved it.
I mean,
It's so good, dude.
the first kill's
Tire
good, though.
in the face. Like,
As a horror guy, as you are,
love it.
you got to say that first kill was awesome.
It's outstanding. That's when the movie won me over, because at first the style was keeping me in it. The dialogue was okay. It wasn't bad like it is later, but it was okay. The bar scene was running a little long, and I'm like, okay, I hope something happens here. And then the first kill happens, and I'm like, I'm all in, dude. This is fucking awesome.
But leading up to that kill, he offers a ride to one of the girls from the bar, and they're driving down the street, and they're talking about the car, and he says something to the effect, which I loved. Like, also the cheesy line delivery right before. I can't remember what it is even, but he says something to the effect of, like, this, hey, in case you didn't know, this car is 100% death proof, but you got to be riding on this side, honey. And then that's not it, but it's something like that. And then all of a sudden, boom, dead.
Because that is so exploitation. Like the cheesy, over-the-top dialogue, lines, the cheesy acting. To me, that's what exploitation is. Like, from the very little I know about it. That's what I wanted to see. I wanted to see more of that stuff.
Yeah. Well, we definitely get more as we...
We definitely get more.
But he makes you wait for it.
Yep.
He resets you. You get a kill. Right, and then he resets you to the new girls, the new, set of girls.
Yep.
And the idea in my head is he's trying to build you up to go, oh, those girls are going to get the same treatment that the previous ones did. But it changes.
It does change, and this is where it gets super fun.
See, you only like the kill moments.
It's not the kill. It's just something happening other than like, oh, I made out with him for 10 minutes and blah, blah, blah. And like, I'm in this movie. And like,
the only thing I will say is this, and maybe I'm way off here, because I agree with you. Like, it goes back to the moments, it gets slow, and we want some more kills and excitement. Mm-hmm. But I do love how he writes the characters for the women. They're kind of not, and I don't know enough about Grindhouse to maybe even make a statement on this, other than they're not clumsy, they're not dumb, they're actually like really empowered, really smart. Even the first ones are
they're in control.
They're in control. They're living their lives. They have an element of success in their lives.
Yep. And
it's not this like.
Right.
So I appreciated that he kind of wrote the characters in that way, which was interesting. But I think as you get to the end of it, it's like, well, they're gonna let this guy know what's happening.
And this is where it got fun for me, because if you're watching the film, you think it's gonna go exactly how the first kill went, where he's gonna chase him down with the car and just slaughter them with his death-proof car. But he doesn't kill him, and they decide they make a conscious decision. We're going to go get this motherfucker. We're going to go get him.
That's what I mean. I think he wrote those characters, and that's what's cool. It's kind of, because I don't know Grindhouse enough.
Right.
But I'm not sure you would see that.
Yeah, I don't know.
Strong of a woman, to be honest.
I'm not that familiar either, but
like taking it back.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
Right. And this is why it got fun, because it totally subverted my expectations. Because I even told my wife, I was like, I almost feel bad for Stuntman Mike now, because they were on a mission.
So that reversal with the characters was really good.
I loved it. I loved it.
Yeah.
And I mean, when at one point he gets shot in the arm, they shoot him with a pistol, and his acting is just the most beautiful, over the top. It's Kurt Russell. It's Kurt Russell totally doing the 70s B movie over the top acting, just chewing every bit of scenery there is. And I could not have loved it anymore.
This is like I'm a big Kurt Russell fan
Me
just
too.
in general. I just think he's a great actor, but I also think he's so good that he could flip back to. He's good at making it campy and bringing it back to this. He knows what he's doing.
He knows what it is. Yes,
You know?
exactly.
He's
exactly.
great. It's great. It's hilarious.
What'd you think of the final kill?
Well, that's what I wanted. Let me ask you what you thought, and then I'll chime in.
I loved it.
I did too.
I loved it, and my wife was watching it, and she loved it. She was like, "This is every woman's
This is now
dream."
where we go. Tarantino is back.
Yes, exactly. It only took an hour and 40 minutes.
It took too long.
2
but
hours.
QT, you did it.
Exactly.
Actually, one of my now also in the writing too, because it's one of my favorite lines, and I'm going to probably paraphrase it here. I'm not going to get it, but when they're ready to take him out and just beat the shit out of him, beat his brains in, basically, it's pretty dark. Everybody,
It is.
and that's what it is. It's an exploitation film. But when the one girl looks at him, I'm going to paraphrase it here, and she says, "You gonna die," or whatever she says, and then she goes, "Not before I tap that ass." Not before I tap that ass.
So
and then
good.
they just keep beating the shit out of him.
And then last real
Sorry,
shot.
that's funny.
This is why I'm here.
Yeah, this is why I'm here.
That's why I'm here.
You got us at the end.
Exactly.
Good job, QT.
And then they beat the shit out of him, but not bad enough to where he's dead. But he does fall on the ground, and you're like, oh man, they kicked the shit out of him. That was great. And then the credits are playing, and it cuts back to them, and they stomp his face in. Just like, yes, this is so good. I'm so happy.
We know there's no comeback.
Exactly.
Right? Because the thing is that I think people that are listening, it's like this is why I was surprised by some of your reaction, because this is a slasher film.
Yeah.
In its essence.
It is.
The essence is a slasher, a guy that goes out and kills women.
Yep, it is 100%.
It's just done in a different way.
Yeah, I think, and I'm not down on it. I still really enjoyed it. It's just that part in the middle gets so slow, and the dialogue was so up its own ass that it took me out of it.
Yeah,
and it was all. It's cool that they literally, and when you're on set and you're working with actors, there's a lot of breathing room between lines delivered.
Yeah. And
you really kind of chop that up. But when it's an unbroken take, you have to speed that up. And I really admire the way he directed them, having that unbroken take with him just circling the table with the camera. Like, I admired that, but there just wasn't any substance whatsoever in their conversation. And it didn't really help anything. It didn't help the story. It didn't help get insight into the characters. It just sucked me out of it. And if it wasn't for that, I think I would have loved this film.
Yeah, that's an interesting, because I agree, and it's like what did he do there in the writing that didn't land? And I think there's something to be said about the character development in those moments. It's like, I don't really care what they're saying. It's
right.
Like, which is weird, but they all, I don't know. I mean, I in contrary opinion, it's like, well, I think they're establishing themselves as powerful women. Like, because they talk real cocky, and they talk real confident. You know what I mean?
That's a good point.
So there's that, but it still doesn't quite. It doesn't land.
You know what it felt like to me? It felt like someone trying to emulate Quentin Tarantino with the dialogue. That's what it felt like.
That became very meta. It's like the height of his career. I mean, he's still at the height, but like at the moment he is, when they make this, they just give him whatever money he wants.
Yeah, right.
He's in 07, he's Tarantino.
Oh, he's Tarantino. He does whatever the fuck he wants.
And he's just like, what if I made a movie? Sorry, I can't do a good Tarantino.
I know. I was gonna join you there, but I decided better.
What if I made a movie that was about me trying to make a movie about how I would make a movie?
That's kind of what it felt like a little bit at times. I mean, it was done technically very well. Like, a lot of this stuff, it's hard to shoot a car chase or an action scene.
All those stunt scenes and the action stuff,
dude,
phenomenal. And they're all practical.
All of it.
which is awesome.
Dude, when she's hanging on the hood of that,
She's hanging on the hood.
I
is awesome.
stopped feeling concern for the character, and I felt concern for the actress. Like, I was like, this is not smart. This is very dangerous.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, so
another question. When did you, like, at what point, because we're not familiar, we go back to Grindhouse type cinema.
Mm-hmm.
It's not when did you realize it's a slasher? Because it's like,
that's a good question.
Is it the first kill, or is it like, oh, it's just it's got to be when do you realize in the movie it's actually a slasher
I think it
film?
actually comes.
Or disguised as a slasher.
I think it comes, for me, it came fairly early.
Yeah.
Because it's ominous. Like, who is this guy? Like, he's scarfing. He makes you uncomfortable immediately the second he's on camera. Scarfing the nachos.
I was just going to say, I'm going to go back to the nachos. And once I saw the way they cut it and the way he was shoving them in his face.
Yes.
This is a disgusting human being.
Yes.
And he's a killer. So.
Yes. Okay. What about you?
Yeah, that's it. That's it. I mean, that's it. I be honest, did you spend the last act? Not the last act. I won't say the last act. I'll say the last scene cheering like it was a sports movie.
Inside, yeah.
Do you know what I mean though? Because even you were saying like Jess was like,
she cheered. She literally cheered.
That's
yes,
what I mean.
Absolutely.
That's what I mean.
And
so he landed there.
He did land there. I mean, it's because they did make you realize what a piece of shit this guy is.
Yeah.
And it's fun to see them, especially when after he crashes the car and he's whining like Eric Cartman just got slapped, that was
and the
priceless.
Overacting,
so good,
and over the top stuff.
Just yes, yeah. To me, that's where it really was like, yeah, this.
So it's fair to
paying
say
off.
there's pockets that are extremely slow, and for whatever reason, because I think it's fair to say that obviously we know Tarantino is a good writer,
right?
But there's those pockets that don't land, and then we get back to those action spots, and they land, and they at least keep us there. I had read an article or heard a podcast somewhere where, just so you know, Tarantino also was like, it's the worst movie I've ever made.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
And the way he phrased it was, which I laughed at, he said, it's a good left-handed movie. Which means like if you're a right-handed person,
yeah,
and you went to write your name left-handed, you'd look at that and go, hey, that was pretty good for left hand.
Okay, that's a very Tarantino thing to say.
But it's also actually,
he's not wrong.
Self-awareness is pretty good.
It is. That is funny. I like that. Interesting, because I'm trying to think of another movie. I didn't love Jackie Brown.
See, this is where we're going to differ, and we're not going to go down that road.
Okay, we won't.
Because it's in my top 3.
Is it?
Tarantino films.
Well, maybe I need to give it another watch then.
Or not, but I'm just saying, we won't go down that road.
No, I think I do, because if you like it that much, there's got to be something of substance that I missed.
I love Jackie
and I haven't
Brown.
seen it for a very, very long time.
And everyone out there is going, why does he love Jackie Brown so much? I just did a Seinfeld impersonation with Quentin Tarantino.
Yes, I mean, those are my thoughts. It's not. I probably sound like I disliked it more than I did. It's never a good sign when I'm like, let's move on.
Before we get into do you have a few reviews?
I do.
But I'm with you. I think it's like a decent roller coaster.
Yeah.
Because at the beginning, I'm building up anticipation just a little because I'm like curious about the style and the character, what's happening. And then once we hit that first kill, I'm down.
Right.
And then we're just kind of cruising until the next thing, right? The next loop-de-loop. And it doesn't come for a long time.
A very long time.
So that's the thing. It's like a roller coaster that's maybe inefficient.
But the thing I like about it is there is a payoff. Like when it doesn't come for a long time, but when it does, it really kicks it into high gear. Again, that's a pun that's not intended. It kicks it into high gear. It goes on, like the climax goes on for a long time, and then the actual climax where they take him down is fucking fantastic.
It's the final loop and boost in a roller coaster.
Yeah.
But the roller coaster up to that point was just kind of moseying along.
Yes, exactly.
It's like, think of it that way visually. It's like we go up, I'm kind of interested, we hit it hard, and then here we are.
Yeah, I agree.
One loop, cool. And then we're just going straight, and then another loop, and then a boost at the end. So,
it sounds like you're a little bit more forgiving of the slow part than I am.
yeah, but I think that's just, and not even being a Grindhouse person, but just like loving the idea that someone went, oh, I got a style of film that I want to emulate is kind of cool. And I think he does it. So I think there's forgiveness there. In the idea that I'm going to emulate a style of movie, and that's it. So I'm a little more forgiving, probably.
That makes sense. I think part of it for
because
me,
it's my love for film. It's like, oh, you took something that you loved from movies. In this case, it was you being a kid in L.A. watching double feature Grindhouse films, and you're like, I'm going to make a movie because I love those so much. Like, I just love the baton pass.
Me too.
Of like,
Me too.
I just was inspired because of this. So
I think I just expected more from the dialogue, and I think that's more what it was than anything.
it's not his best written dialogue. I mean, when you jump to that, and I think if I pull up Inglourious Bastards, which is like 2008-ish,
Mm-hmm.
you know? It's like that.
Was it? Yeah, that's right around
something in that time. I'm not looking at it, but the opening scene of that is, whoa! You talk about good
Dude,
writing.
that is some of the best writing of all time. The tension that's built in that opening scene is crazy.
I mean, I think it is.
It's insane.
Yeah, 2009 Inglourious Bastards.
I mean, it's hard when you're compared against your best work. Well, not even your best work. Your most average work is so elevated beyond what this was. Talking about the dialogue.
he said he did it with his left hand.
He did it with his left hand. All right. It's kind of, as a lefty, it's kind of disparaging there. It's a little racist.
Well, just don't take it personal. Reverse it. He did it with his right hand for you.
For me, that's right.
Okay, it's like that really good, we like sports, so it's like, oh, I'm a right-hander, and then they're hitting 300, and then all of a sudden they go, oh, let me switch it up to the left hand, and they're still hitting 250.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
That's the sports analogy,
this
though.
is
You know
totally,
what I mean? It's like,
this is totally off base. I don't know how no human being should be able to do that. That's insane.
and also, QT is wrong about Paul Dano.
He is dead fucking wrong about Paul Dano. And I'm trying, believe me, I tried so hard going into this to not hold that against him, because that one, I don't know why. Because I think that performance in There Will Be Blood is so above criticism that I never would have expected anyone to actually criticize it. And the audacity to criticize Paul Dano, especially in that film, is insane. And then I see Quentin Tarantino's lizard face pop on, and I'm like, so this is your acting, huh? Like, this is what you're doing. And it wasn't bad, but it's like, dude, what?
It's not, look.
It's not good.
It's not great. This is where I'll be honest for you. Like, great writer, great director.
Yep.
Based on this movie, can
Great camera.
get behind the camera too. Acting. And because I go back to like Dusk to Dawn, and I'm like, he's leaning on he's leaning on bigger talent.
Yes.
So
Yes.
I'm not a big
In
guy.
Pulp Fiction, I'm convinced he played that role just so we could say the N-word. I'm convinced, because he loves saying the N-word.
Well, I mean, he writes it a
He
lot.
writes it a lot.
And Sam Jackson likes to say it for him.
Yeah. Yes, he does. All right, should we dive into some Letterboxd reviews? As always, I only picked the half stars because they're funny, and there's some pretty good ones. Here's a half-star review from someone named J. Kelly67. Misogynists love this one. I'm reminded that I hate this guy when I watch his movies. Cringe shit. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, see, I don't agree with that.
I don't either.
I actually think he writes it in a way and obviously ends it in a way that's more empowering to women. I don't think it's not empowering, maybe is not the right word, but like,
they're powerful characters.
They're powerful characters.
Here's a half star from Morgan a.k.a. This movie feels like a TikTok parody of Tarantino films, but he actually just made it. I don't know if I'd go that far.
I mean, we did talk about a meta version of him making the movie going like, if I made a movie about me making a movie about Grindhouse movies, which is very TikTok-y.
It feels the dialogue, especially in that one scene. I don't want to beat a dead horse.
Wait,
it felt lazy.
What do they say? What's the exact review again? Say it again.
This movie feels like a TikTok parody of Tarantino films, but he actually just made it.
That's a T-shirt.
That is a T-shirt. Oh, I got some other T-shirts here. Okay. Half star by Condor 517. I'm sure this movie has some merit somewhere, but it lost me when Tarantino makes Kurt Russell look like a foot.
That's a T-shirt.
That's a T-shirt. That's a T-shirt. So I'm putting that in the T-shirt list. Okay. Here are my thoughts. Speaking of feet, I'm giving this one a solid 7.1 feet.
7.1.
And that's the thing, is because
you can't explain yourself.
I spoke pretty negatively of it, and I should have spent a little bit more time talking about the stuff I liked, because I did like a lot about it.
It's a movie that made you enjoy waiting.
I didn't enjoy the waiting, but it paid off.
No, you did, because that's what I mean. You were not enjoyed the waiting, but you got to a point where it paid off and you enjoyed, that it made you wait, because you hit there.
Yep.
And
good
you
point.
were like, yeah, I'm good. So,
and it was worth the wait, but the wait was pretty excruciating.
Yeah. I wanted to try something different here. I wrote a summary for this one.
Okay.
And then I had ChatGPT help me.
Okay.
Watching Death Proof is basically the cinematic equivalent of riding shotgun with a friend who insists, "Trust me, this part's important."
That is so true. That is very
while taking a 20-minute detour. Only to absolutely nail the final destination.
Love it. Good job.
I was right, and then that's ChatGPT. I wrote a little thing, and then they helped me. So
I was going to say,
they wrote it.
That's
me.
a good collaboration between you and ChatGPT.
Mostly ChatGPT.
That's good. I like that.
I think it's, but I do concur. I think it's weirdly fun at times. I think it's also weirdly boring at times, which for most of his films, I don't feel that. So like if I'm watching a QT film, I'm not really bored. This one, a little bit.
Yeah.
Love the homage and the call out to the style. And once again, being unapologetic as a filmmaker going, I was so inspired by something that I want to make something that inspires others based on the thing I was inspired by. It's so weird and meta. And
I love it.
But I love all that. I'm just going to go a little lower.
Okay.
Because even QT himself said it's a good left-handed film.
Left-handed film, fucking asshole.
6.3.
Whoa.
6.3. Look, sometimes you swing and you miss, and it's like, or you foul tip.
Yeah.
This is a foul tip.
It's a foul tip. It's a foul tip.
Just a little bit.
But it's
just the tip.
Just the tip. I thought for sure, wow, like based on the way I was talking about it and the way you were talking about it, I thought we would have been flipped.
6.3 nacho plates.
That's the one. That's the one right there.
6.3 nacho plates for Death Proof.
I think I'm surprised at kind of both of our scores. I thought you'd be higher on that. Interesting.
I mean, let's revisit with Planet Terror, and then I think you'll have better context.
Yeah.
And I also think if we start doing, we go back and look at other QT films, you'll see those scores obviously increase.
We may need to do like a Tarantino festival like we did with Kubrick.
I mean, I'm really mad about what he said about Paul Dano.
I can't get over it.
I'm not. convinced I want to give him any of our 100 listeners. Just kidding.
It shouldn't bother me that much, but that performance is Paul Dano's performance is above reproach.
Well, outside of just There Will Be Blood, like I keep thinking about recently because I loved the Batman.
So good.
And then he's in the Batman too, and I'm like, he's so good in that.
He's so good.
So anyway, there you go.
I can't think of a single role that he's been in that I've seen that I would classify as weak sauce.
Yeah.
That's fucking stupid, dude.
Yeah. Yeah. Don't come at us with your cameo in Death Proof.
No shit.
And then tell me Paul Dano's weak sauce.
Thank you. Well said. That's a good place to end it.
And also love Tarantino.
I know.
But not this one, 6.3.
Okay, that's going to do it. Next time, we're going to be talking about Planet Terror. So, I forgot to give a spoiler warning at the beginning of this. So, oops, sorry.
It's been out for over 20 years.
Yeah, you should probably watch
20
it.
years now.
Yeah, you should probably watch it. And next week, we are going to watch Planet Terror. So, go ahead, do your homework, check that out, and see if you agree with us. I'm just based on this review, I'm excited to watch it and see what you think of Planet Terror. Because you've seen it, I haven't. And I love Robert Rodriguez. He's kind of a guilty pleasure.
How can you not?
Okay.
Spy Kids 3?
I've never seen any of these Spy Kids movies. I don't really care to. But I respect that he's done it. Okay, we'll be back next time. In the meantime, head over to tameaperture.com. You can find all of our previous episodes, ways to get in touch with us, and get caught up on the back catalog.
And go check out new merch. We're going to start printing T-shirts eventually. We're going to figure it out.
I'm actually going to do it because I know I'm going to do it this time. I swear to God. I promise. This time's going to be different. All right, we'll see you next time. For Tame Aperture, I'm Alan. Wait, no. Why am I
That's
so
my
dumb?
favorite ending ever. I might keep that
Just
in the
keep
edit.
it. Fuck it. Who cares?
The Tame Aperture podcast is produced by Dutch Angle Pictures in association with Studio B Productions. Listen, watch, and subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Spotify, and YouTube.